Amos Part 4, and I got interrupted. I've got my house for sale, and I got it as an open house, and they just walked through the door like I want them to, and I was in the middle of the video. I wasn't expecting anybody this late. Okay. And they might be back, so I don't know how far I'm going to go here with this one, but what we've done was corrected this to be East Manasseh. I was trying to figure out, excuse me, which one of these is truthful and how it can be done. About the tribe Manasseh and all his words. And I'm going to have to put and all his words. And this here we know is just added. How can the land endure? To whatever he said was so, yeah, like the people, and nothing. Don't worry about the people, about all his prophecy. It's not words, his prophecy. And all YHVH'S prophecy. I'm going to put YHVH'S here. And like that. Okay, now we have that text. Now Jeroboam was not going to die by the sword. I would have to look that up. And I see I got to probably look it up just because I'm starting to I want to make sure, because it looks like it's going to talk and I need to know this answer. Oh, where would I have this? Let me go like that. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I didn't go reading ahead. Okay. And I gotta bring the down text so I can see what's going on. Okay. Now this was Jeroboam. I'm looking through my list of kings. Okay, because okay, let me see here, because I have a reminder that he went to war with Asa. Well, he did have him killed. Okay. So when I said it wasn't truthful, way up before, but that text didn't make it anyway. Okay. Oh, probably. Well, the tribe by East Manasseh and all YHVH'S prophecy about oops. Oops, I hate that when that does this. I don't know what I do to do this, but I hate this little red line where it leaves a mark. And then all the text starts having every red line whenever you do it. About Jeroboam will die by the sword. And I don't know if I had that information. but it just says he had him killed, and I'm not sure if his son killed him. Yeah, his son killed him. Okay. His son killed him later. Will die. Now here's when they're telling the prophecy, really. Saying, Amos, YHVH's prophet, has conspired against you. In the midst of Bethel, Amos said, Jeroboam will die. Because I added so much here, let me sit here and see how far back this little thing will go. No, only back this far. No, it's not going back any farther than this. All his words, I think. Because what I'm thinking is that in the midst, oh, that's right, this was up here like this. Okay. For Amos said, then I would be getting rid of all this. Okay, for Amos said, that's the way they would write it, would be said. Although I would say declared, or I'm going to put prophesied. What am I doing? Wrong one. And I believe that's how you spell it. Yep. Okay. For Amos prophesied, Jeroboam will die. This I'm not sure of, not the sword. Can't remember how his son killed him, but I do now know that his son killed him. And I still need East Manasseh. And East Manasseh. And the tribe, East Manasseh. Will I want to just put captives. It kind of covers the whole situation though. And this is replacing all this. And that's the truth because that's what happened. Okay. Then this priest said to Amos, go you seer, flee away to the land, flee to the land for Judah, which would be the kingdom Judah, not, well, let me, and actually at this time, they're the good guys, so flee away to, I guess just Judah, flee to Judah would be, don't need all this. not go, it would be run, you seer, flee to. Yeah, it'd say run, because he told the king about him, so I'm sure that that's more better that he, and he would call him a seer. See, they didn't have visions, these fake priests. Flee to, flee to Judah. Whoops. Flee to Judah. And do your prophesizing there. I'm just moving it from here to there. But no longer prophesies, no longer prophesy in Bethel. And it is the king's residence. Like I said, he moved it there, and that's where for it is the king's residency. Whoops. No, I'm just hitting the letter S. What's going on? Okay. For it is the king's residence. Okay, I'll leave it there, but so he didn't send he sent a messenger to Jeroboam, which would have been on the other side of the city. Okay, so I guess that's what's going on here. I was kind of wondering where Jeroboam was at. Now we know he was at his home there in Bethel. Like I said, Bethel became the capital for Jeroboam's time. I am a prophet and a son from a prophet. I am also a herder. Well, I am now not a prophet, but let's see. So I am now a prophet. No, not that it's not a prophet. Now he's a prophet because he's a son from a prophet. For I was hurting. For I was hurting. This is not there. When YV took me from leading my flock. Okay, so he was out hurting, and then our Creator made him see him in a vision. And this is not a vision at night, which is very important. There's very few prophets that have a vision in the daytime. And this is also one of the rare occasions that a prophet is married and has sons, okay? Most of them, you never hear that they have a wife. Daniel, John the Baptist, Elijah, Ezekiel, maybe it was Ezekiel that had a wife. But of all of them that I know, there's only like 2 or 3. Hosea had married a whore, so I don't really trust that. He wouldn't defile our Creator's law about adultery. I am now a prophet and a son from a prophet, for I was hurting when Wivey took me from leading my flock. And Wivey said to me, Wivey told me, that said, told. He's not just talking, he might even commanded. Wivey commanded me, yeah. Me to go prophesy to my people for Israel. And then this is not going to be true. Against the house of Isaac. Now that's like 600, 700 years later. Like, they're all descendants from Isaac because they're all descendants from Abraham. In the promised land anyway. So that's not true. So now we now have another prophecy, but I think this is going to be the true prophecy here, and that's going to be it. And because he's a new prophet, I don't think he would go on and have the ability, because a herder would not be able, well, he might be able to read and write because his father was a prophet. So anyways, this is why your wife will become a harlot and your citizenship will fall by the sword. What happened? Where'd it go? Let me get it underneath this line. This is just like as if Wybie was speaking in his head to tell him that about this guy's wife here. Your land will be parceled up. And yourself will die upon unclean soil. He's already on unclean soil, or unclean land. Israel will go into exile. So this, I'm just going to say no to. Okay, and then I'm going to stick it back up here. Now we get into number 8 here. It wouldn't be thus, it would be then. YV showed me a basket of summer fruit. And he said, "What do you see, Amos?" And I said, "A basket of summer fruit." Then he said to me, "The end has come for my people Israel. I will spare them no longer." Now this, if he's talking about all Israel, then that's that's a couple hundred years later, and that's not true. This couldn't be together. This again would have to be East Manasseh. If we're going to go through this and be truthful, I need this, and it won't be house, but it will be Israel here. End has come for well, I guess I don't need the word tribe for East Manasseh. But this turns into a 3 verse. And this means this is not the end, because if they come to the end, it means he won't spare them. So there's that. And it would be their songs and their homes will turn into wailing that day. This doesn't need, because we already know this is happening. Who's talking? He's talking from this point on. Many, well, the corpse will be everywhere. Don't need just not place, but everywhere. That way. And I'll cast them forth in silence. The corpse will be everywhere. They will be removed. That's a tough one. Okay, let's move on. I'll try to correct that later. Trying to speed these up. When I get stuck like that, I noticed when I reviewed, when I'm realizing that there is so much time that I spend on these, correcting just one verse, the corpses will be everywhere. And if he's going to cast them, meaning he's going to have them removed, and they're going to walk in silence, is what I'm seeing. But they are to hear this. It has to be they are to hear this, which would be his prophecy. You who trample down the needy and do away with the humble in your land. And it would be a capital L, being the promised land, so we know what's going on. And I would say do away with the righteous, because the righteous follow our Creator, and they were getting rid of them. You who trample on the needy, hear this. You who trample the needy, and do away to, and this would be send away the righteous. The righteous in your land. Now this needs to be 2 verse. So if I do this and get rid of all this and put you are sending away the righteous, and it doesn't need to be in your land, we know who we're talking about, so then it's just shortened. Sending away the righteous. Now that becomes a 2 verse. I guess you are as well here as too. Oops, this needs, I added that. You are saying, when will the new moon be over? That we sell grain on, well, they didn't, the moon was not used as the cycle or the time. You are saying we will this is wrong, this is out. You are saying we will sell grain on his holy day. Because that was a commandment, so this is against the commandment. We will sell grain on his holy day. And because the grain and wheat are the same, so and it would be and make their bushels smaller. and the shekel or coin, and the shekel bigger, not bigger. You're making the bushel smaller. You're increasing the wealth of the coin and the shekel increase. And I'm going to put the coin. And the coin increase. To cheat with dishonest scales. As the buyer of the helpless money. Now, how do I, oops, I gotta keep my iPad running. It has all my information of clicking through screens and stuff, so it's really helpful. I can just tap here and that's how I get around on the screen, but I just seen the warning come up, less than 5%. To cheat with dishonest scales. Is to cheat with dishonest scales, so as to buy the helpless for money. That isn't, they aren't buying helpless for money. When you cheat with dishonest scales, so the buyer is helpless. See, they were buying the helpless, meaning those that couldn't. I don't understand the helpless, but the sentence here, they were trying to, and a needy for a pair of sandals. They don't buy and sell people or the helpless for money. So I've got to try to make this work as to cheat with dishonest scales, so the buyer is helpless. And then that would be for money, they buy the needy or whatever. And they wouldn't sell nobody buys the straw because they had so many wheat fields. You wouldn't carry that in to sell. People would laugh. This is just not needed if we're going to. And then it's, I will never forget any of their deeds. Because of this, the land will not quake. Well, that's too bad because the land just doesn't quake on its own. Because of this, everyone will mourn, everyone dwelling in it will mourn. Because they're going to go into captivity, because this is some of the deeds. Did I separate this from this? I'm trying to just figure out how this is happening. Then he showed me summer grass. So he's going back and he's going to repeat the same thing as a second warning. everyone dwelling or dwells, lives in it will mourn. Talking about East Manasseh again. Don't need this. When you got the word all next, all. This is just nothing. But it's a 3-verse. So they stuck a 3-verse in there. I don't see this as why is this necessary? Now it gets back to more ridiculous things about if never forgetting the deeds because of this, everyone living on it will mourn. Because he doesn't need to do this. He's sending them into captivity, so this wouldn't be in there. I will bring sackcloth on everyone's life. Baldness on every head. I don't think this would be true. That takes a long time, and they did not a long time, but I'm just saying that is I can't see the whole tribe, thousands of people all of a sudden having bald heads. They're going into captivity. That's what the first prophecy says. So I'll make it like mourning for an only son. In the end, it will be a bitter day. I will bring sackcloth on everyone's lands. They're ending this. Their ending will be a bitter day. Now here, it's like another prophecy, but he's not referring here to their end. They're going into captivity. So myself, I need to do something like this, as to say that there is 2 verses missing. Now what's happening to the text here? Um, 40 minutes. Okay, behold, the days are coming, declares our, when I will send a famine on their land, not a famine for bread, nor thirst for water, than the words. Okay. Their ending will be a bitter day. Now, is he prophesying 200 years early about the end? Because, see, they don't end until way down here. Now, that's 100. Yeah, almost 100 and 200 years later of the prophecy of the ending of Israel. Okay, now that might be, he might be doing that. The end will come for Israel. The end will come for Israel, and that's the kingdom. The end will come for Israel. Their songs and their homes. Homes will turn to wailing that day. Corpses will be everywhere, and I'll cast them forth silently. They are to hear this, you who are sending away the righteous. Those were the Levites that they were sending out at Jeroboam's time then. When Jeroboam set up this place as Bethel as the new capital, and that's to go to Jerusalem, that you to bring your your offerings there to a new God. The Levites left. Okay. And they are to hear this. You sent away the Levi's. You sent away Levi's. And you are and I can see that it wouldn't be, you are saying when the Sabbath is, or when the new, Sabbath, when the holiday is over, there would be complaining of that, but I needed to say it. We will sell grain on his holy day, because they're sending away the priests, and they are the judges as well. There's no law and order for our Creator in their land or in their kingdom anymore. Okay, and this is what they're doing in that land, and he'll never forget their deeds, because they will all mourn. I'll bring sackcloth on everyone's lands. See, now now this is making more sense, that this will be the ending of all Israel. So he's got two prophecies. One for East Manasseh, and now one for all of Israel. I hate this when it does that. This doesn't say that he's going to be removing them, so yes, this has to be that they're removing them. And it's not behold. It would be those days are coming. Those days are coming, declares our Lord YHVH. I will send a famine on the land, not a famine for bread, or a thirst for water, but rather a hearing the words from me. Okay, so this I don't know how to start this as this has got to be the next chapter here. But anyways, because this has got to be another prophecy here. Wow, something's really up here. Okay. I'm going to have to stop it. The text is really driving me nuts here. I can't edit what I want to edit without it jumping around like that. Well, maybe if I just close it and reopen it, maybe that'll help. And then let's try that. Where are you? Yeah, that's what it was. Some of that red stuff was in there. I knew once I started getting that crap that it was going to do some of this stuff. Simple markup. I don't want no markup at all. But what this does mean though is I have to get rid of this. I've been through this many a time here. Yeah, see, it already screwed up all this text. Oh, I gotta stop and clean this up because you can see the spacing is all over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit this one short and start with another one. Boy, this one's giving me problems. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.